Today, we're going to take a look at a really ancient text, Psalm 112, but through a completely new lens. We're going to explore it not as some kind of prayer or a plea, but as a practical, honest-to-goodness blueprint for rewiring our internal state. This one phrase, this is the key. This unlocks the whole thing. I want you to forget everything you might think about, asking for stuff. We're not making a request here. We're studying a picture of a finished product. We are looking at a portrait of a very specific kind of person. So the very first and honestly the most important step here is to unlearn a really common misconception. A lot of people approach texts like this as a kind of cosmic vending machine, If I say the right words, then blessings will just pop out. But that's not what this is about at all.
Okay, so this lays out the fundamental shift we need to make. See, the common approach is so transactional. We pray for things, we bargain, we treat it like we're trying to make a deal. But the real purpose here is transformational. It's all about declaring your agreement with a new identity, aligning yourself with a proven, successful pattern, and then using repetition to actually form that identity deep inside you. The goal isn't a transaction, it's a total transformation.
And that brings us right to the core concepts. I want you to think of Psalm 112 as a blueprint for an identity. So when you recite it, you're not just speaking words out loud, you are actively, consciously agreeing with and stepping into that identity. So what is this pattern you're agreeing with? Well, it's a life that's characterized by reverence, by generosity, by a deep stability, courage, and consistent provision. When you recite these words, you're literally instructing your own mind and your own spirit, saying, this is who I am becoming. I am aligning with this blueprint. This brings us to the idea of frequency. Now, let's just strip away any kind of mystical, woo-woo meaning from that word for a second. In this context, frequency is simply repeated agreement. That's it. It's the disciplined, daily act of focusing your mind on this blueprint to intentionally form your identity around it. It's a practical discipline, not some magical formula. All right, now let's get to what is probably the most powerful psychological pivot in this entire practice. It's the shift you make from a mindset of wanting to a mindset of having, or maybe more accurately, a mindset of being. Here is the absolute core difference. The wanting mindset is always out there in the future. It's always conditional. I'll be okay when this happens. You see how that just reinforces the state of lack? The having mindset, on the other hand, is all about the present tense formation of your character. It declares, this process is happening right now. I am becoming a person who is a conduit for provision and peace. The focus shifts from what you might get to who you are becoming. This one line from the psalm is such a powerful training tool. By repeating it, you are actively pulling your emotions out of a poverty mindset. You're literally training your nervous system to normalize the idea of provision, to expect it as a natural part of a life of integrity, not as some desperate, far-off wish. Okay, so that's the theory. But how do we actually put this into practice? Let's break down a simple, actionable plan that you can literally start today. It's a really simple 4-step process. First, recite the whole psalm in the morning. Just set the blueprint for your day. Second, I want you to identify the biggest fear you're facing right now, anxiety about bills, insecurity, whatever it is, and pick one verse that directly pushes back against it. Third, you speak that single verse again at night. And fourth, and this is key, you take one small action that aligns with the person you are becoming. So what does an aligned action even look like? Well, it could be an act of stewardship, like finally sitting down and making a budget. It could be learning a new skill to increase your value. It could be an act of generosity, even a really small one, just to break that scarcity mindset. Or it could be simple discipline, like choosing to work instead of procrastinating. These actions prove to yourself that you actually believe the new blueprint. Now, here's a really crucial piece of advice. For the first week, don't even look for external results. Don't do it. Instead, track the internal changes. Are you feeling a greater sense of peace? A little more boldness, maybe more clarity or self-control? These internal shifts, they are the first and most important signs that this is working. And that right there leads us to the ultimate goal of this entire process. You see, the external world only changes when the internal world changes first. The end point here isn't a bigger bank account. The true goal It's for this portrait of a stable, generous, courageous person to feel like home inside of you. It's about reaching a state where this new identity is so deeply integrated that it feels more natural than all your old patterns of fear and lack.
So what does this practice actually build in you? Well, it acts like a diagnostic tool. It exposes the hidden beliefs and blocks that have been holding you back for years. It actively replaces those old negative scripts with this new blueprint. And maybe most importantly, it forms a heart, a character that can actually handle provision and blessing without self-sabotaging or panicking.
If you take away only one thing from all of this, please let it be this. The first and the most important miracle is the change that happens inside you. Your decisions start to change, your perspective shifts, and then your external reality begins to reflect that new internal state.
So, as we close this out, here's a question for you to really think about. As you look at this blueprint, what is the one hidden belief or fear-based script inside you that this practice could help you replace? Because that's where the real work and the real transformation begins.